Let's go over 3 easy ways that you can make your music sound more interesting. So I remember when I first started creating, producing music, or getting serious about it, I would always think, man, what else can I add to engage my listener? What else can I add to make this sound better and more interesting? Until I realized that adding was not always the answer. So I'm going to show you 3 easy ways that we can make our music sound more interesting without looking for a lot more things to add. Now the first tip is to actually use a filter sweep. Now we are not actually adding anything to this production, we are just taking EQ and essentially not letting our listener hear the entire sound and opening up the full sound using it as the intro. Let me show you what I mean. I think we need to talk. So you hear that synth bass sounds very thin at the beginning and it starts to open up and thicken. It's a very, very easy effect to replicate. So first thing we're going to do here in Logic is we're going to go to our channel strip here. We can do it on the left side of Logic here, or if we bring up our mixer window, we also have it right down in here. So we're going to go where we see read here and we're going to actually put it to touch. As the music is playing, any effect or parameter we change will record or write into the system as automation. So be careful what you actually start messing with as the song is playing. So now I'm going to go ahead and put that high pass filter up right around 1000. Now when I press play, I'm going to manually drag my mouse and bring that high pass filter down to the lower frequencies. Then we'll go in with automation and make it a little cleaner. Now it's very important that we go back to read now. Now before I go in and clean this up, you'll see that that automation has easily already been written. Honestly, that sounds pretty good already, but if I want to clean that up and make it a little bit more smooth or change that in any way, I'll press A to go into my automation window here. Where we see volume, you can see now it says used and it realizes that we have used that low cut frequency. So I'll click that low cut frequency. Now that we're zoomed in here, we can see I actually did pretty well there, but what I'll do is I'll highlight all of these, delete them, and now I have a nice smooth line that I can actually automate a little bit more smooth. Now the second thing you can do that I do a lot in my productions is actually create silence. So here's where that less is more approach. Instead of me thinking of what else can I add, I switch that thinking as what can I take away in order to just grab my listener's attention. So listen to the difference here. You're afraid of the dark, so need light for your heart, but instead I left you on your own. Now watch how I grab your attention when I actually take a lot of that away. You're afraid of the dark, so need light for your heart, but instead I left you on your own. That makes a huge difference. Now when I utilize actually creating silence, I just ask myself, am I trying to just grab my listener's attention, or am I trying to emphasize a specific part of the lyrics or the production? That goes into the third tip, is actually emphasizing portions of your song. And the easy way that I usually do that is actually by creating some silence. I'll take away elements in order to emphasize parts of the song. So now if you actually listen to the lyrics of that song, you'll hear, instead I left you on your own. So I'm trying to emphasize those lyrics. So me creating silence and taking away portions of my production actually emphasize those lyrics of, instead I left you on your own. I love combining those two approaches of either emphasizing and or creating silence. So you'll see on the little interlude in between the chorus and verse 2, I wanted to emphasize the 808 and those low bass elements coming into the song. So I took away everything else besides that and just had that play with that clap coming in. Whoa. You're never gonna change. Stop saying I regret. The last place you'll see I pretty much used all of these elements is in the later portions of this song. Take a listen and see if you can tell what I did.
What's the point if I ask you to change? What's the point if I ask you to change?
I'm wishing you the best, but we both know that I am lying just to get away. Said your heart cannot take it, don't know if you make it. to blame. If you're interested in seeing a little bit more of how I created that song, you can check out one of these videos here. But until next time, I'm Phil. Keep creating music.